Hey, this is Kyle Benedict with MISO BIM. This tutorial topic is on editing families within a project, and this course is considered intermediate level. Editing families is a pretty broad topic, but this video is going to specify on editing families within a project itself. This is different from the family editor, which is accessed by selecting a family and going to Edit Family. And that is where families are originated and built and edited on a more advanced level. So we're going to cover the instance and type parameters available to you in a family and how to edit them in your project without having to tackle the beast that can be the family editor. The first example I'm going to use is this bed. This family is an out-of-the-box Revit family from the Imperial Library. And as you can see from the drop-down menu, there are 4 different types of this family. So to get your lingo down, this is the family file itself, and then everything beneath that is considered a type of that family. When an object is selected, what you see in our properties box here is what's called the instance parameters. So instance parameters are parameters associated to just that specific family that is currently selected. It could also be multiple families that are selected. So as you can see, I'm selecting 3 of these families. If I change one of the instance parameters, this is one of the only instance parameters in this family, to level 2, it's going to move just the instances that are selected. This bed is the exact same twin bed, but that instance parameter is still set to level 1. So I'll move these back down. And as you can see, instance parameters only affect those exact instances that are selected. When an object is selected and you go to Edit Type, this affects all your type parameters. So the type parameters in this particular family are the materials and the dimensions. So when I change this type from a twin to a double, you'll see the dimensions change. Again, I'll do that for another one. And in this particular case, all the beds have the same materials assigned to them. And I'm going to show you what happens when we change the materials of this particular type compared to the other ones. So the twin bed is what was originally selected. I'm going to leave the leg material still steel, but I'm going to change the mattress material to linen beige. As you can see, it's slightly different. Let's make it a little more drastic. Hit OK. Hit OK again. And you see, changing the type parameter has changed the material for all types of that particular family, which is just the twin bed. The next thing I'm going to show you how to do is to create a new family type within your project. In this case, let's say we want to make a California king size bed. First thing I'm going to do is copy an instance of this over. And while that is selected, I'm going to go to Edit Type. We're going to get our Type Properties dialog box up here. And I'm going to duplicate this and then rename it accordingly. So now we have California King. Make sure the dimensions match up as well. Once you've duplicated it and named it accordingly, then you want to match your dimension parameters to that description. So our length is 7 feet, our width is 6 feet, and there you have it. Now, general rule of thumb is to always duplicate the type if you're making a new one. This ensures that you're not overriding any of the parameters of an existing type in your project. Since this is such a small little project, I know that that's the only particular one I'm duplicating and creating a new type for. But if you were to just rename this, rename the king option to a California king and change the dimensions, it's possible that there's another king size bed in your project that you're now renaming and changing the dimensions to that you might not want to. This problem is more prevalent in larger projects that has multiple users, so It's always a safe bet to duplicate, and then you're not messing up any other object types of that particular family in your project. Alright, so now that that's all set, I'll hit OK. You'll see the dimensions change slightly. And now we've got our California King. Now let's look at another family that has its materials as an instance parameter. The big advantage to type parameters for materials is that you can change a lot of one family type at once just by changing the type parameters of one, like we did with this twin bed. The disadvantage to this is that if you have multiples of the same family that you want to be different colors, you now have to make a bunch of new family types just to change the materials. That means we would have to make a twin beige, a twin white, a twin red, whatever the case may be, in addition to having all the different size parameters as well. That can get a little confusing depending on what kind of family you're working with. How to remedy that is by having your materials be an instance parameter like this chair. So we've got multiple copies of the exact same chair. Every single one of these are identical. But since the material is an instance parameter, we can make just some of these be one particular color, while some other ones are another color. And finally, the last two are yet another color. There was no extra step of editing the type, duplicating it, calling this white chair instead of red chair or blue chair. It's simply select it, change the material, and you're good to go. Now you might be thinking, well, what if you have a ton of these chairs in your project? Do you have to select them all individually? The answer to that is no. Ever since Revit came out with the Select All Instances tool, which you access by selecting an object, right-clicking, and you'll see this option right here, by either choosing Visible in View or your entire project, it has kind of negated the need for type properties, at least with your materials. So I can simply select all of these chairs in this whole project, turn them back to one color, and there you have it. This is the main reason why 95% of the families I build have materials as an instance parameter. One last topic I want to cover when it comes to editing families in your project is coming across a family such as this that you might want to make into a different type, like I showed you with the California size bed. Except when you go to type parameters, all your dimension parameters are grayed out. This means that inside the family, these dimension parameters were locked. The reason that is because some objects are actual real-life objects, as this particular one is, and this is a manufacturer object, so they don't offer other sizes in that particular chair. That also means that this chair is probably not parametric, so if you were to change these sizes, the geometry might get screwed up or you might get an error message. So to prevent users from doing that, the creator of the family will lock the dimensions, and then you only have one option for that particular family size. That does kind of stink if you want other sizes for that particular object, but then again, in reality those sizes don't exist for that chair, so it only seems fair that you wouldn't create one in your project that doesn't actually exist. So to recap, whenever you bring a new family into your project, really just get familiar with it. Select it, see what kind of instance parameters you're working with, hit edit type, see what kind of type parameters you're working with, and then once you understand that, you can edit and manipulate the family in the way that you need for your particular project. That's all we've got on editing families within a project. Thanks for watching.